G'day football fans and welcome back to episode 6 here of our Wolves career mode. We are today taking on the English champions Manchester City. In the month of December, these fixtures are coming up thick and fast. We've had Liverpool, we're about to play City, we've got Arsenal and Chelsea to come. So really this month could be what defines our season and defines, I guess, our European challenge. Before we get to our match today against Manchester City, we've got 3 matches to catch up on, the first of which being Norwich. So early on here, we had Ross Barkley running with the ball. Norwich defence just parted like it was Moses in the green and yellow sea. He just waltzed on through, fired into the side netting. Angus Gunn, for some reason, didn't actually make an attempt on it. I'm not too sure what happened there. I think maybe he was confused about what his defence was doing, as was I, after we couldn't clear the ball having tackled it. Then Johnny runs straight at, I think it was Solus this time? I'm not sure. Yeah, it's Solus. Just that one ball roll and he was past Johnny. Pedro Neto then on the counter-attack could have passed it across for Yusuf Poulsen, but with how much ground he had covered, I wanted the goal to be Pedro Neto's basically. Selfish possibly, but also it was maybe a bit boring had he have just passed it across there. Lead didn't last too long, then the most realistic of transfers for Norwich, Karim Adeyemi, making it 2-2. A little pass, I think it was by Josh Sargent, through the legs there of the defender. To Karim Adeyemi, one touch, fires it to the side netting past Jose Sarr. We did grab the lead for a third time. Again, Ross Barkley just carrying the ball through midfield, firing this time across the keeper, low into the bottom corner. Angus Gunn this time did make an attempt, did not have a chance. Brilliant goal there from Ross Barkley, doing exactly what we signed him for, carrying the ball through midfield, this time for a goal. That lead did not last long. It was Timu Pukki this time. A nice little bit of back and forth play. It reminded me of a goal that between a little interplay between Tevez and Rooney back at United, back when they were first playing together. Then we did take the lead amazingly for a fourth time. This time it was youth product Aidan O'Neill bringing the ball forward. He drew in the defence. He's laid it off for João Moutinho's 35-year-old legs. 83 minutes into the match, still had the power to force it through. Unfortunately, in the 90th minute, Johnny could not control the ball as he was trying to turn away from the defence, or from their pressing attackers, who had the simple job of taking one touch, passing through Karim Adeyemi for his second of the game. And we've had a 4-4 draw. One of our games has to finish as game of the season this year, surely. Next, we took on Burnley at home. They've signed Oliver Skipp, who fired in that volley. You can see Ait Nouri, who had somehow been drawn way in, tried to get back on the line, but obviously by it being a goal, I guess, didn't quite make it. He did header it across the goals into the post. A valiant effort, but not one that made too much of a difference. 1-0 to the Burnley. Then Hwang took it down to the byline, cut it back this time for Ruben Neves, who had laid it off to him in the first place, then kept on going with his run. Easiest of jobs. Actually tried to make it a bit more difficult on himself by firing it back towards the goalkeeper. Hwang then again took it very close to the byline, fired it across. Burnley defence possibly thought that it was going out and forgot to stop the ball flying across as 3 of them collapsed onto the ball. Nick Pope dived at the ball, didn't quite get there. You can see here it is very close to being over the line, not quite though, so the correct decision was made. And we are up 2-1. Got even better with an absolute Jerry Cinnamon of a goal here by Tyler Roberts, who has absolutely given that his all. Strong header won by Ait Nouri off the back of a corner, a couple of touches, and Tyler Roberts puts everything he's got through that ball. You can see that Nick Pope does get a bit of a touch to it, but not enough to stop it, and not enough to stop us winning the 3 points there. Last match we did take on the league leaders in Liverpool. They took a 1-goal lead here, half an hour in, through Thiago Alcantara, or however you say it. That's probably not correct, but he just kept Max Kilman at bay and then fired it to the side of Jose Sarr, who could not do much about it. 1-0. Got even better for them, not too much longer. Roberto Firmino drew in the defence, then put a delicious ball across the 6-yard box for Sadio Mane, who had got just the right side of Johnny there at right back, and fired it past Jose Sa, who could not do much about that. We clawed one back then just before half-time through Ross Barkley, not the most convincing of finishes, and not, I guess also by that point, not the most convincing of goalkeeping by Alisson. Fired from about 3 yards out, straight at his face probably. Could not keep that one out. 2-1 at the break. Then got further into the game. We managed to bring it back to 2-1. It was Matosiwa this time, his first goal for the club. Just bringing it in through midfield. For some reason there was just this huge hole here. Virgil van Dijk didn't do very much there, which is very surprising. Alisson fell over it when he should have stayed up high, and 2-2 until Thiago Alcantara got another one. This time it was Sadio Mane drawing in the defence, made it past Johnny, drew in Willy Bolly, cut it back for Alcantara, who fired a low stinging shot through Jose Sa, who could not get down to it. And unfortunately, 3-2 is how this one would end, which leaves us in 6th place. Of course, Liverpool beating us there. They are right at the top of the league, just 1 point ahead of Chelsea. Manchester United in 3rd, Leicester, then Arsenal, then ourselves, who are 1 point ahead of Spurs. We are still the leading scorers in the league. I guess the 8 goals in those 3 games probably a reason why, but then I guess you can just look at the 32 we've conceded and probably see why we're down in 6th. That brings us to today's game, and you might be wondering, if we're up against the league leaders, the champions of England, where are they? Why can't we see them? If they're the best side in the land, if that's why we're watching this, where are they? They're down in 11th. They're 7 points behind us. They get a win here, they might move up to 8th, but it is not looking good for them, is it? Not what you'd expect from such a good side, and I do not expect the game today to reflect them being in 11th. I'm expecting quite a challenge from such a talented side. Just about a full strength 11 from us. The only change you would see there is Ross Barkley in for João Moutinho, just for some fresh legs, just for hopefully a bit more of a drive forward. I think what we can probably do is take a bit of an advantage of Fernandinho's, how old is he now? 37-year-old legs, and you can already see that he's a little bit tired there. When you look at their side, who 3 changes. I know you'll be looking at the left back and thinking that someone has cleared their name, but that's actually Ferland Mendy from Real Madrid. They've signed him. They've also signed Andre Kramaric from Hoffenheim and João Pedro from Bologna, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken there, somewhere in Italy. He's about 30. He's not exactly Erling Haaland or Kylian Mbappe, or that sort of quality that you'd expect. That being said, let's get into this one as we take on champions of England. Welcome to an Etihad Stadium full of fans somehow. I will just remind you to, while we are waiting for kickoff, leave a like on the video, leave a comment down below, subscribe to the channel, follow us on the socials. We're trialing something to try and get some more engagement on Instagram, where we'll be putting out a bit more content there, hopefully. As we've just kicked off here, I must remind myself, somehow, before these matches, to have a look at the bloody kits, because this is atrocious, isn't it? As Kramaric brings it forward, we can hopefully defuse this situation before they've got good players in good positions like Kramaric, who makes it 1-0. It's taken, 4 minutes? Then we just can't get the tackle in. Then Kevin De Bruyne finds Jack Grealish at the edge of the box. Then Kramaric, who is coming back from an offside position, kept onside there by, I think that was Connor Cody, who had been trying to tackle him in the first place, and does the easy job of popping that past Jose Sa for 1-0. Work to do. The good thing about conceding 4 minutes in, as if there are any actually good things, is that we've got 86 minutes to rectify the situation. As I was saying before, I am not expecting an easy game here, despite them being in 11th. When you look at the quality of players that they have in a De Bruyne, however you want to say that one, De Bruyne, their backline is intense, just absolutely quality. Walker, Diaz, Laporte, and Ferland Mendy adding to that quality. Then with players like a Mahrez, a De Bruyne, a Jack Grealish even on FIFA, even though he's not had the most hot of starts in reality, on FIFA he's still a bit of a beast. As we've diffused that situation, luckily. And now we can hopefully get something happening the other way. With Pedro Neto on the ball, finding an overlapping Nelson Semedo, and finding Ross Barkley for 1-1 rather. Ross Barkley is in the absolute form of his life. That is 4 goals in his last 4 games. Fed in by Pedro Neto with his weak foot, fires it into the near top corner, past Ederson for 1-1. And I think that might be the first time we've actually got forward into their box. The weight on the pass there from Pedro Neto is absolutely perfect. Keeps Aymeric Laporte out of the game and lets Ross Barkley come straight onto that one. And Pep is scratching his bald head. I think since their goal, which, 4 minutes in conceding isn't ideal, I'd say. It probably wasn't in the game plan, I'd say. Since that, I think we've been okay. Like, in terms of coping with them. Alright, a fairly uneventful last 6 minutes or so. But we've got Ross Barkley through here. We're hoping Hwang can get around the side at the back post. Oh, not quite. Cross just that little bit too close to Ederson in goal for them. And Kevin De Bruyne has absolutely stolen in there. And now they're away. I'm finding myself struggling to talk here just because I'm trying so hard to concentrate on the movement of their players and where this bloke's going in relation to this and all that sort of stuff. And I'm forgetting that I'm actually filming something that I'm trying to get people to watch. We're finding a lot of spaces like this where I'm not too sure. Oh, that's a horrible pass. I'm not too sure where Fernandinho's meant to be when they're defending. I don't know if they have some wild Pep Guardiola game plan that nobody thinks makes sense but ends up working, as Mahrez is sprinting around the outside here and doing all of the tricks in his repertoire, and Connor Cody has left the ball for possibly the player with the best technique in the Premier League, Kevin De Bruyne. The stress of defending in FIFA is intense. Not even going to look at replays of that one. That is horrendous. That you can finally actually intercept the ball from them, because you can't tackle them. You can finally intercept the ball, and the player that intercepts it just leaves it, basically giving a written invitation to Kevin De Bruyne to come in and absolutely fill his boots. We are getting an absolute exhibition on passing and dribbling today from Manchester City. From Wolves, not too much to write home about, really. I mean, we did equalise, and we might again here. No, we've put it out for a goal kick, and it's half-time. So 2-1 at the break to Manchester City. Not our best performance. Luckily, we're still in the game. We can hopefully pull something out of this. We don't want to lose 2 on the trot. We don't want to have this December define our season like it looks like it is. Second half just kicked off here. I'm wondering what it is we need to do to get back into this, or how to best cope with Manchester City, because for the most part, we haven't even had a kick. I was saying things before kickoff about trying to make Fernandinho in particular run, but to do that you need the ball. I didn't really think that far through that plan. Not going to say that was my most Guardiola-esque game plan, but having said that, Guardiola game plans include not having defending mids. Oh, we tried to lob that into the far top corner. Didn't see much going on there with Raul Jimenez running away from goal with his weak foot. Did get it up. Did not give Ederson a chance, but did not do quite enough coming back, as they're bringing on Raheem Sterling in great news for us. I was very much... as we've nearly given the ball away there, I was very much expecting a João Pedro goal after saying such a negative thing as saying that he isn't a Haaland or Mbappe quality, because that is how it usually goes here on Dylan on the Ball. That if I say something negative but also fairly true, it goes poorly for us. We'll play Hwang in here down the side and hopefully get some room for a cross or something like that. As Ross Barkley's in, and Ross Barkley's scored again. Great work from Hwang. There wasn't much on when he was looking to cross the ball. He couldn't quite get the room for it. He's cut back. He's found a little bit of a passing lane, just around the other side of Fernandinho in midfield there. And Ross Barkley, again, as I was saying earlier with the first goal, I guess, just the weight of pass is just perfect there for Ross Barkley to run onto and fling his boot through it for 2-2. We've stayed in the game. We haven't lost our heads or lost the game. And we've made it 2-2 with just over 20 minutes to play, probably a quarter of the game. Even if we get another one, there will still be just that lingering doubt of, can we hold Manchester City out? Look, at this point, I'm just happy we've conceded less than we did against Norwich, which was very depressing, especially when you look at them in the league table just after that match, and they were yet to have a win. Oh, as Ross Barkley might get... Oh, I've tried to chip it. I've gone for the... Oh, why did I do that? I've gone for the fancy little flick finish, and when I should have learnt my lesson from his first 2 goals and just put Ross Barkley's foot through it as they're about to make it 3-2. We have absolutely paid the price for my stupidity. Nothing else you can blame it on. I mean, I guess there's probably something to say about FIFA and the quality of the defensive AI and the fact that my 3 centre mids are outside of the box when they have 5 players in the box. But then at the same time, it helps if the person behind the sticks knows a thing or two about football, and that Ross Barkley finish, or lack of finish, and I can't blame him. He's kept us in this with his 2 goals, and which his 2 goals prove he can finish. It's just been me that's stopped him this time. As we've got Hwang in behind Mendy on the right somehow, but it'll just peter out to a corner. But we do have a chance from it. We have scored a number of goals from corners this season. Not a high number, but a number. Hopefully we can nick another one here. And we've done it! It's Raul Jimenez. I've absolutely called one. It's 3-3. It's Raul Jimenez from a corner. 7 or 8 yards out. The keeper probably can't get there to that one. It's probably moving a bit too quickly for Edison to get there. And then after the header, it's moving even quicker. We see here Raul Jimenez giving Edison no chance. Edison is in a bit of no man's land. He's not really come out. He's definitely not stayed on his line. Really not sure what he's done there. But what we have done is brought it back to 3-3 with 5 or so minutes to play probably. After losing against Liverpool and drawing against Norwich, I think going away to the champions and putting up this much of a fight I don't want to call it a draw yet, do I? Yeah, putting up this much of a fight. Oh, very important header there from Ait Nouri as Jose Sarr had made his way out but was not getting there. Daniel Podence has made his way forward here, does not have support. Man, who can he actually pass it to? He can get tackled by his own man. That was ridiculous. We're trying to chase the game. There's no one within an absolute mile of him. Look, I sound disappointed, but really at the end of the day, to have come back a number of times away at the champions, to come away with a point, to come away with having scored 3 and conceded another 3, I guess, we cannot be too upset with that one. Just a quick run through of the goals. This time it was Andre Kramaric, played in just a nice little reverse pass there by Jack Grealish. Reminds me of that, obviously not the same quality, but that Cesc Fabregas to Andre Schürrle pass away at Fulham. Everybody remembers it. You know what I'm talking about. Definitely not the same quality, but just a little reminder of it there as they make it 1-0 before Ross Barkley brought one back for us. It was Pedro Neto here on the inside playing a brilliant pass, a brilliantly weighted pass into Ross Barkley. With his weak foot firing it into the top near hand side. With the power on that one and the distance it was from, Edison did not have much of a chance. Then just before half-time, Kevin De Bruyne did make it 2-1. Connor Cody could not sort his feet out, could not control the ball. Probably could have cleared it first time, maybe, because he had got there easily. He could have just booted it, possibly. but instead he has laid it on a platter for Kevin De Bruyne to make it 2-1 at half time. Just after the break, or 20 minutes after the break I should say, Ross Barkley did make it 2-2. Another great pass this time by Hwang, putting it right into the path of Ross Barkley, who again, first time finish, putting his foot through the ball, giving Edison not much of a chance in the world. After 80 minutes, it did then become 3-2. This time it was Riyad Mahrez. Just too many people forward. We couldn't get the ball when we needed to. After that, I guess you could say save. After the ball hit Jose Sa, let's say, we couldn't get there, and and we paid the price. It was Riyad Mahrez making it 3-2 there. But then 86 minutes in, Raul Jimenez up against Ruben Diaz, gets himself just that little bit of room. Edison in absolutely no man's land. Can't get there, can't get a touch on the ball. Can't come away with a win, I suppose. As we've brought it back to 3-3, you cannot turn a Wolves game off at the moment. So a decent result there away at the home of the champions, Manchester City. A 3-3 draw, our second draw of the season. We are in 6th position still, 1 point above Arsenal, but a nice 6 points ahead of 8th place, which I guess says that we're in the hunt for Europe, just not sort of nailing that chase, I guess. We are in amongst it though, and that's exactly where we want to be, this sort of 6, 7, 8 range, hopefully cementing our place with a European chance, hopefully even a cup run when the FA Cup rolls around in January. So next episode we will be taking on the current league leaders in Chelsea. We have them in a week's time. Midweek we've got Brighton and Hove Albion. You will see the highlights of that game, but then we'll come back for the Chelsea game next weekend. Just really trying to get all of the big hitters out of the way and get those views out of those fans, I guess. If you are one of those fans who did tune in because we were versing such a great side, please do subscribe, leave us a like if you don't mind. Even drop a comment down below what you thought of today's games and what you think of the series as a whole. I'd really appreciate it. Down in the description below there are the socials. There's the Twitter, the Instagram, the Twitch should that become a thing. Especially please watch out for the Instagram. We'll be trying some new stuff there, trying to incorporate some of the YouTube content onto the Instagram, trying to sort of bolster our fan base there, I guess. And until next time, when we go again against the champions of Europe, peace.